What's up? It's your boy Carcino here. Let's get into it. Now, for many reasons, we didn't talk about the Charlo brothers on our platform. Boxing Socialists used to cover that event or all their fights all the time. They're from Houston, same place as Sean, and the Charlo brothers basically were like second family. Sean used to drive out there, film them, record them. He loved it. Then, all of a sudden, it all fell apart. As an upcoming fighter from Philly, J. Rock Williams who basically off the record mentioned the Charlo brothers and said he just didn't think Jermell had enough dog in him to make it like Jamal. Jamal is the one he gave the majority of the credit to. It's like, yeah, nah, he for real. But Jermell, I don't think he got enough, dog in him to really take it. He wasn't really saying nothing really negative. He just didn't see Jermell as having the fortitude to come forward where Jamal would go all out in the ring and, go for it. So, when we wrote the piece, we named him Not. We put anonymous. And he questioned, his heart when the fights get tough. He didn't think he had the heart to do it, which I disagreed. So, in the article, it basically says his point, my point. But when the article comes out, people just read the title and didn't read the article and sent it to the Charlo brothers, where we actually defended Jermell Charlo, because Jermell showed nothing but heart. He showed how he had to use heart to win against Demetrius Hopkins. Anybody who beat Demetrius Hopkins, that's a tough fight. I don't care what people say his record is. D-Hop can fight. So he had to dig down to win those last rounds to pull that fight out. That was a tough night. That showed heart. All of this was in the article. No one ever read it. No one from over there. They were so upset about something they never even read. So they were going off the handle about J-Rock. They would never fight him, this and that. I don't even know that dude. But they blame Sean because Sean is the one they know. I talked to Jamal and I talked to Jamel. Jamel got it. Jamal didn't. Jamal's the type where he's very overprotective of Jamel. He feels somebody's attacking Jamel, that's, like that's my brother, they twins. I understand it all. Understand it completely. But once you've been explained what happened and what you guys did wrong in the situation, because they went to Twitter and Jamal had never followed Sean. Once Jamal sent a friend request to Sean and Sean approved it, he just went to blasting him on the Twitter and put it on his timeline. It was retarded. But it showed right then and there, the attitude level. And they were just like at that time, nobody was really covering them. Fight Hype would do something because they had one guy coming in there to do it, and I don't even know if he's doing it anymore. So they were the only two people really featuring them at the time, besides Sean. Sean and this other guy from Fight Hype that Sean knew as well. So then Jamal's like, I'm barring them. I don't want them here no more. I don't want them at the place. It was ridiculous. So all of this stuff was going on. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Why would we be siding with J-Rock, who's from Philly? We didn't know J-Rock really like that. Besides, he was just a fighter from Philly. I like his fighting style, but he's from Philly. We didn't know him. Sean watched you. Sean knew your family. You know what I'm saying? He followed you guys, promoted you guys. He loved y'all. Like, these was like, he went to fights, like, to go watch fights with y'all. Y'all were his guys, and for them to treat him like that was very, very wrong. And once the situation went down, they didn't want none of their videos on boxing socials no more. Sean took them all down. He said, you know what? I'm through with it. Got rid of everything. We took the article down for him, even though there was nothing wrong with the article. I wish we had left it up so that they could have actually read it. But they didn't even read it. They didn't even see that somebody told them about the title. Told them, they dogging you in the article. We wasn't. So it was a bad situation at that time. But we just stayed away. At least from my end, we just stayed away. I did post fights and talk about the fight, but basically, I don't dwell on anything that happened back then. Like, now, everybody supposedly is in a good space, and he's like, man, let that be in the past. But that's what happened then to now. The actual fight is happening between J-Rock and not Jamel, which everyone thought. Jamel's like, I'm never fighting him. It's Jamal. And they say they all cool, they respect each other and everything else because they both, with Al Heyman and all that. But deep inside, I know they remember everything. And this fight might be explosive. But I have it as a tale of two fights. I think early on, Jamal would have a lot of success. And in the second half of the fight, I see J-Rock winning the second half of the fight. But early on, I think the sharp jabs and the punches, from Jamal will keep J-Rock out of his rhythm for a little bit. And then I'd say in the second half of the fight, because Jamal seems like he fights with a tight fist, and he's real sharp early on. Then he kind of loses his sharpness a little bit in the second half of the fight. And that's normally where J-Rock gets his groove going. Like, if he gets a rhythm, it could be a long night. And he's an attrition fighter. Like, he gets better as the fight goes on. So, it's going to be a tale of two fights. I have it being very close on the scorecard. A draw wouldn't surprise me. But I'm leaning towards J-Rock because I got him winning the later part of the fight. The latter part. So the judges might be influenced by what happens in the last part of the fight rather than what happened in the first 5-6 rounds. And in boxing, you have that. You have that, where judges are mostly influenced and they give most of the credit to the guy who won the last 6 rounds. Because that's saying if the fight kept going, the longer this fight's going, this guy is in a rhythm. This guy could keep going all night winning rounds. This guy has peaked already, and he won the earlier parts of the rounds. All that stuff is forgotten by the time you get to the second half of the fight. So they always would lean normally and give the guy who win those championship rounds. That's why they say these are important rounds, because these are the last rounds the judges are going to see. This is the last rounds the people are going to see in this fight. If you want it, this is when you go get it. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm very excited to see this fight. It's a very exciting fight. Now, we move on to Abner Mares and Cuellar, which is sillier to me. I mean, that's just how I see it and view it. I talked about this on ropeadoperadio. You can go and watch that show, listen to the podcast on ropeadoperadio on blogtalk.com. And we went over this last night. But the way I look at it, it's like, come on, man. This is the most epic card to open up Richard Schaefer's Ring Star Boxing. And what a way to open up. To have these two fights with young talent, and you're going to see guys ready to throw their hands. Cuellar and Abner Mares. And you know, I'm the biggest Abner Mares fan there is, but you know, I think that this fight here is going to be a difficult fight for him as well. Abner's very good at counterpunching, bringing his type of fight forward. He reminds me a lot of Danny Garcia, except, you know, they both don't jab a lot. They basically throw power punches with their jab hand, and it's very weird. They don't know how to set something up really off the jab. So when you see somebody like Abner Mares, who throws a lot of power punches, he puts his head down and really just digs in with power shots, you're kind of wondering, like, what would happen to him? Like, if he just jabbed. If this guy actually used his jab consistently in a fight, he would be dangerous. Abner can punch. It's just that, will he be able to take the shots from these bigger guys? And Cuellar is a guy who can crack. He has a devastating right hand. And, I mean, the guy can box. He stays behind a jab, but he's not afraid to mix it up too. But I give him the advantage due to the jab. I think his boxing ability and his reach and use the jab and keep that distance is going to make it an exciting fight, because Abner will put his head down and go for it. But I do have Cuellar winning this fight by decision, or I don't know, probably by cuts too. Might stop Abner. I mean, it's tough. But right now, I got to lean towards that one. So, enjoy the fights. You got a lot of fights this week, man. This Saturday's going to be rough. It's your boy Carcino. I'm out.